Hello everybody, today we are going to discuss about the variable in Python along with data types. We will see these points. Number one is what is variable and what are the naming conventions that we need to use while defining a variable. Also, we'll look into the basic data types in Python. In the end of the video, I'm going to share some tips regarding variable and how we can assign them. So watch till end. Let's start our video. What are variables? Variable is a container that holds data and acts as if we are using the data itself instead of the variable. So just show you an example. I want to put my name, okay, somewhere. So name is code with Yuvraj. Let's not go into the spelling and all, but here the name is a variable and this is the content the variable holds. Like it's a container and this is the stuff. So whenever we want to use the code with Yuvraj in our program, what we have to do is like we use the name. So let's say I want to print it. Print the code with Yuvraj. If you want to print code with Yuvraj, then you can just simply say print name. Name is holding code with Yuvraj. So indirectly we are printing code with Yuvraj. That's the concept of variable. Let me run it. And you can see the output here. It says code with Yuvraj. So this is the concept of variable. It's a very basic thing. So variable is just a name that is holding the data. You just need to understand this. So let's go and let's just give some other example also. Let's say I want to add two numbers 12 and 13 and I want the result. In that case, what I will do is I will say x equal to 12. That means I'm assigning a variable x and giving it a value 12, y giving 13. So I want the sum of x and y and I want to assign that to another thing. So what I am going to do is I'm going to give another variable z that is going to sum x plus y. Now let's print the sum. Print z. So let's run the program and you can see it prints 25 and our name. So this is very simple, right? This is the way we define the variable and we use the variable and we can create a variable so that it holds the dynamic data. If you want, like instead of 12, if you just want to write 13, then let's say 123, then you just put it 123 and it will hold the value 123. This is the concept of variable. Now let's move into some of the standards and conventions that we need to use while defining the variable. There are some set of rules that we need to follow. Let me comment this out. You'll understand what is comment, okay? So all the things, don't worry about those. So let's move into the second part, variable naming convention and standard. So whenever you are defining the variable, then you need to follow some convention and also you should try to follow the standards in the community. So we are going to discuss that also. The number one is variable name cannot contain any special character except underscore. It can only contain alphabets and numbers along with underscore. That is number one. Another is variable name cannot start with numeric values, okay, and even any special character except underscore. These two are the conventions, and the third one is like always use a very descriptive name while you define the variable. So I'm going to show it just in a second, so don't worry. The last one is the thing that very less people teach you on in the YouTube. In Python, snake case is really famous, so you will be using snake case. I'm going to show how. Let's try to give a name that uses percentage symbol. Can I name percentage? Ha, tada! You can see this is an error, okay? You cannot use. Let's print name percentage ha, and tada, there is a error. You cannot assign to expression where maybe the equal to, and there will be an error whenever you will do this kind of thing, okay? So you cannot use other thing other than alphabets, numbers and underscore when defining a variable. That's the rule number one, like a golden rule. And the second, let's go to the second part now. Variable name cannot start with numeric value or any other special character except underscore, okay? Let's see. We can give the variable name like this, underscore name. This is legal or this is good, but you cannot say 12 name. Haha, VS Code it shows like there is an error. You can start your variable name with numbers. That's no rule number two. Now we are good with the naming convention, okay? So let's give some of the good names. One, we have already said name and age. Now let's see counter. Let's say 12. This is good, right? Also, let's say you want to add date of birth. Date of birth 2012. 12. Let's see. So when by this name, I'm going to explain you the point number 3 and 4 also. Okay. So when you are giving a variable name, then you need to use a very descriptive name. Let's say there is another variable. Let me copy this and make me this, and let's say the value is x. Whenever you write a program, imagine you see this x equals 2012 instead of date of birth 2012 and 12. Will you able to understand like it's a date of birth of somebody, or let's say date of death, let's say date of something accomplished, or something like that. So the point number 3 standard says like you should always use very descriptive name so that the other person will see your code, even yourself. Maybe after 5 years you go to the program and you see the code, and you will, if you're not able to understand anything at all, then there is no use case, like you cannot maintain the software itself. So what you have to do is like you give the very descriptive name so you will understand what is that. So another point number 4 is Python uses snake case for variable name. Let me show you another example that uses camel case. You can see like there are two variables. This is also variable, this is also variable. One says date underscore of underscore birth, and another says date of birth. And this type of variable information is really popular in JavaScript and Java, but when it comes to Python, then snake case is really famous. Like we always put underscore instead of space in the variable, and that's called snake case. So these are the very basic rules, and it will help you on the long run. So keep this in mind, and let's move to the next part. You know what are variables and how to name the variables, but do you know the type that we can assign to the variable, or the variable type, or let's say the value that we assign to the variable? From the beginning, we are assigning all the values as a text. You know the text, so we are just assigning everything to the text, and the type text is called string in Python. Whenever you assign any alphanumeric character to a variable, then that is called string. Okay, so very first data type is string. Let's see that example. Okay, name code with new branch. So this is the string, this is the text, and the type of variable that this is string. If you want to see the variable type, then you can simply say print. There is one function type, and you just have to pass the variable name in it, and it will say you what is the type of that variable. Let me run the code, and class string. You can see this is the type of string. So string is the data type that holds the text. Now there are multiple functions that you can perform on the string type. Okay, so the very first is like if you want to add multiple string, then you can use the plus operation, and it is really famous, but it is little bit outdated, but still I am going to show you how you can do that. We have already discussed about the print function multiple times. So let's say I want to print my name is code Yuvraj. So what you can do is you can use plus, then you can just simply type the variable. So no, there is no code variable, so let's say there is a name variable. What this is going to do is like this is going to concatenate my name is and code Yuvraj. Now let's run and check it. You can see my name is code Yuvraj. Let's say you want to append another string here, and that is age. What you can do is like you can use another plus operation and say I am 19 years old. My name is Cody Yuvraj. I am 19 years old. That's simple. This is the plus operation that we can perform with the string. Now let's move to the same part, but how we can do this with the comma. Let me comment this out first. Okay, so you will understand about the comment also. Don't worry. Now let's see how we can use comma operation. You want to print the same thing. My name is, but this time you don't want to use the plus operation. What do you want? You want a comma operation. Now you just put the comma and you define the variable. Let's say my name is Yuvraj. Then again you want to put some strings, so you just do the comma and say my age is 19. Now Let's just run it and see the output. My name is Cody Yuvraj. My age is 19. So this is comma operation. The comma operation can use to concatenate strings. It's same as plus operation, but it's little bit cleaner and it is little bit popular and it is little bit easy to write code. Now there is another way which is much more cleaner than all these things. So that is called the F string, the big boss. It's a big boss that's really famous in Python. It has been, I always use this F string, and in our future video I'm going to use the F string only, so make sure that you'll understand this part. Let's see the F string. How does the F string work? So it's a very simple concept. Like before the quotation you will just say F and you can directly use the variable inside the string. Now let's do the same part. In F string what we have to do is like we just have to say F as it's a F string, and my name is, now you want a variable in the string, so what you have to do, you just have to use the curly braces. Let's use the curly braces and pass the variable name. My name is this, and see, just dot, and my age is 19, and boom, you're good. You can just compare it and you are learning a lot. My name is Cody Yuvraj, damn, and my age is 19. It's really simple, guys. I hope you have already understand the year fitting, as I'm going to use it so much that you can just rewind and see as many times as you want. So in year fitting, what we have to do, we just have to use the curly braces. Let's say there was another variable called age, okay? Age. So what I have to do is just use age, and let's define an age variable. You could just use two variables here by using the curly braces. My name is Cody Yuvraj and my age is 19. You can see like I have used two variables and it's still working, so it's easy to do. Now let's move to the another part. Now we have completed the string data type. So another is integer data type, and integer data type is a normal data type which don't have any decimal points. So let's say you have some kind of variable, a counter that cannot be decimal, then counter equal to 12. If it's like this, then it's an integer. But if you put some decimal, let's say 2 3, then it is not called an integer. There is another data type for this, and we are going to discuss it within a second. So everything that we assign as a number, then it is called a integer data type. So it's very basic and it's not that hard, so I'm not going to spend much time on it. So let's just do some basic operation on integer. Let's say you want to increase the counter, then what you can do is like counter is counter plus 1. Let's print the counter, and boom, this is simple. And now value of counter is 13. So let's say another example. Let's say we want to keep the track of our subscribe numbers. So what to do, we just make a variable called subscribe count. SUBSCRIP is subscribe and count, subscribe count, and currently it's just 6. Maybe by the time you watch it may be 6,000. Let's say subscribe count. So if you subscribe, then what I can do is subscribe count equal subscribe count plus 1. This is what you to do. Whenever you click the subscribe button, then they run this logic, like they will just take my subscription number and they will just add the number 1 in it, and boom, let's see the print. Let's see the new subscribe number. Okay, subscribe number, we have just learned something, and it's called comma operation, right? Subscribe count, and let's run it and see the output. We had a 6 subscription and you subscribed it, so it gets 7, and now the subscribe number is 7. So this is called integer data type. Now let's move on to another data type. So we understand what is integer type. Now another data type is float data type, and it's very similar to the integer data type, except that it can hold the decimal points of the number. Let's say we have a variable that needs to hold the money that we have. Let's say I'm going to say like cash. Okay, the variable is cash. So currently I have $12.12. Okay, so here is I have to use like the decimal points. So whenever you need to use the decimal point, then that is called the float data type. Now somebody took some money from me, then what I have to do, I just have to subtract the number from my money. Let's say somebody took $1.1. Now print the cash and you will see how much cash you have. 11.02. If you subtract 12.12 minus 1.1, then I have $11.02 in my pocket right now. So this is called float. You can use float in multiple places. Whenever you need to use numbers with decimal points, then you will have to use the float variables. That's why you can just do the program. So this is called float. And now let's move on to the data type, and it's really easy. It's like a binary data type. It's very easy and the most useful data type in the programming itself, and it's called a Boolean data type. A Boolean data type is a type which can either be true or false, nothing other than true or false. So a Boolean data type can be either true or false. So how you define true or false in Python? Let's see. Let's guess a situation where I have to guess like you have subscribed to my channel or not. I'll say subscribed. Okay, subscribe. If you have subscribed, then I have to do true, and another is not subscribed. Not subscribed, and that was false. If you have subscribed, then this is true. If you haven't subscribed, then that is false. But I'm using two variables. So a Boolean is a data type that can hold either true or false. Let's say you want to you two want to know like whether you have subscribed to my channel or not. So what they will do, they'll keep a item, let's say a variable like your name subscribe to Yuvraj or not. If it's a true, then you have subscribed. If the value is false, then you haven't subscribed to my channel. So this is the principle of Boolean. And we are all done with the Python very basic data types. And now let's move to the very last one, tip and tricks of the Python. What you do, like you say x equal to 123, y equal to 12, name equal to name, right? So instead of doing this, there is a one line that can do all the three things. So you can just use comma, yes comma, y comma, name. These are the variables, okay? And you can just give the value in the same sequence and name, right? Now these two will be equivalent. Let's see if this is true or not. Oh sorry, this is not name. Okay, this is not name, it's name. Now let's print xyz in both places, and z, and let me copy this one and paste it here. I just need to replace the z with the name, as there is a variable name. Let's run the program and see the output. And you can see 11.02. This is coming from here. Let me comment this out, okay? And let me run again. You can see 123, the value of x, y12, and name even same like this. So this is a very basic Python tips that I can give to you as of now. So we will continue to learn our Python along the way. So make sure to subscribe, like my channel. Bye bye guys, and see you in the next video.